Hello, freelancer. How are you doing today? This, you know it, is a wake up call. Hello, and welcome to Wake Up Call, freelancer. So, today I'm supposed to talk a bit about keeping to the terms of agreement with your contracts, your contractor, your contract person, your contract engager, whatever name you want to give to it, the ownership, your gig owner, whatever name, tag, whatever that you're giving to the person who's in charge of your gig. Um, so keeping to the terms of agreement. I know that sometimes it can be difficult and there are situations outside of your control that could just come in, bump in and scale up, what you're doing and just change the modalities of you delivering your business, right? Some of these things happen. And I mean, it's not something that you necessarily have control over. But again and again, one of the key things that I wanted to mention is that you have to keep to the terms of your agreement. Keep to the terms of your agreement. It's important. It's what sells your integrity and builds trust between you and your clients to ensure that you are able to deliver excellently well as in a timely manner that honors your work and brings more honor to work. So I just concluded this content writing for beginners course, right? And some of the things that one of the things that I taught to my students was be the king of the first draft or queen, however it is. Be the king, be the lord of the first draft. Trust in your first draft. Do something spectacular and send it in for corrections. Let it go out first. Let your client see that, oh, you've put in this work. This is before the delivery date. Oh, okay, so can I have changes here? Can I have changes there? Give them room for revision. Don't try to perfect the work just so that, oh, you don't want this. Yes, it's good to have an excellent job, but be the king of the first draft. Now this is for freelance writers, of course, but this can go to graphic designers, it can go to audio content creators. If you're a producer, you have to edit, whatever it is. Remember that I'm always saying that always have the number of revisions that you allow per time, but at the same time ensure that you are able to submit something that is worthy of your clients to review and say, okay, now revisions can begin. Now I can see what you've done and I'm interested and excited to talk about, oh, let's change this, let's change that, right? So be the king of the first draft. Send it out. But in all of this, the real intent of this video is to encourage you to keep to the terms of our agreement. If you mentioned that you're going to deliver this in 6 months over a particular, in certain phases, ensure that you do that. Even if you have the complete job or you have less, just ensure that you keep to the terms of agreement, including if you have to outsource, if it is allowed within your contract. Remember that I said contract because the agreement is the contract and the terms are important. Look at the scope of offerings, look at the financial aspect, look at the legal aspects, the intellectual property part, look at the correctional aspects, all of the aspects. I'm not sure if we already did a video about what's included in the contract, or a freelance contract, a regular freelance contract, but just ensure that whatever terms you agree to, keep to the terms. This means that when a contract comes in, you have to read it intentionally, and if you have to, employ the services of a lawyer. At this point, I mean, I'm already expecting that by now we have intellectual property lawyers more and more, especially in the African space and in the Indian space. I'm already expecting that we have more of freelance lawyers or tech lawyers who are doing, gigs to just create new, because we're in this new era where technology is the way to go, and sometimes you have to sign contracts over the internet. It has to be digital. You don't have time to take it to any lawyer's physical address anymore. You can just forward it via email or copy your lawyer or ask that your lawyer's chambers be copied. These are some things that I'm hoping that some of us begin to take up. You may start as a freelancer, but you may find a need for the legal aspects of tech, and please plug in. If this is your call, if this is your drive, if this is something you're interested in, please plug in and just do the needful. Help us. If this is you, reach out. If there's any way we can promote and boost and talk about, where you begin to do education about intellectual property and just what people need to ensure are in their contracts, and how to read through a contract, or even whatever it is, just please, it's time. Legal education as well as in the gig space, we need to go in all out. Even for employment, digital employment or virtual employment, we need to go all out to address and cover these spaces. That is, by the way, that is just an idea that came, but that's by the way. The real deal is keep to the terms of agreement. I've been hearing some things that have gone on, some people who have come to meet me. I'm not a lawyer. I may have sense or a sense of the meanings of what a contract entails and what should be in, but I am not the authority to go to when it comes to contract, explanation and review. So it's important that you reach out to somebody who is, and you have to save yourself. I remember that, or there's a case going on currently, and it's been I my heart broke when I read the contract, and I'm like, I can't blame the contractor because it feels like they saved their head, they saved themselves, they put themselves in check. It was up to the freelancer to now say, oh, I cannot do this at this time, this is what I'm going to offer you instead. If the person does not agree, we can look for another way to balance all of that conversation. But I mean, you take it because you feel like, well, the finance is good, the terms of agreement are good, I can totally do it. And then you get into the job and you see that you absolutely cannot do it. And that just brings hell, and you have to reimburse, you have to pay, and still relinquish your rights to the intellectual property. It can be a mess. So please, please, please read those agreements properly. Keep to the terms of the agreement. And I wish you the best. I wish you a good time. I wish you an excellent time. Wish me the best in the training that I'm starting this week. It's 2 days, but I'm pretty psyched about it. It's always exciting to share some practical business education or some just practical self-coaching that can help improve organizations, and I'm excited about it. Yeah, that's the end of this video. Be well, do well, have a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic week and ahead. Okay, see you in the next video. So those